Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bandai Product and Figure Review, your one stop for everything anime and model related. And in today's video, we actually have a really special thing, and I just managed to snag this at my work when we were doing a little bit of a card convention. So that kind of gives you a hint of what I managed to find. But the thing is, with this particular item, I forgot to be able to get the pre-order since I was actually out of town when this actually launched. So I was unable to actually get this for a pre-order. And this is none other than the starter combo pack number 4 of the TCG Gundam card game and Gundam assemble set, and this is number 4. And as we can see, this is a nice combo set that gives us really cool miniatures as well as the starter deck from Gundam Seed. And as this rotates around, we're going to be seeing what all this comes with, and it's basically the starter deck and several miniatures. And this is number 4, so each one has their own theme. I would have gotten Gundam Wing if they actually had some of the Wing miniatures, but this one just so happened to have some of the ones that I really like for the Strike Gundam and its Core Fighter. So this is going to be a really fun one to actually put together and be able to play. So without further ado, let's roll opening and actually open up this wonderful combo kit and take a look at what it all comes with. Starting off strong, we have a lovely box art that this actually comes with. So again, this is a card game and also miniatures. So this is going to be really fun. Well, being able to play the game, you can actually have your figures predetermined, and you can have them out on the field to give a nice little representative. Or if you wanted to use these for like D&D, I've been hearing a lot of people wanting to do D&D Gundams, so this is going to be really interesting. So we're actually going to be taking a look at the miniatures themselves and the cards that all come in here. So let's move to the very back, and this shows us everything that we're going to actually need. So this actually comes with a ready to play deck. Make your own Gundam assemble, so you're going to have to paint these, and as we can see, before and after. And you can enter into battles. As we can see, you can have them represent on the field, and this looks like it does come with a alternate holographic special card. So let's actually open this little bad boy up and take a look at what all comes inside. And as we see, this is everything that comes in here. We do have a nice little booster pack, so there's like maybe 1 or 2 cards in here, and then we actually have the starter deck right here, and we also have our little counters. So we'll actually take a look at all of the cards that actually comes in here, and we also have the tabletop version for the game and how it all puts together. And basically, actually, it looks like it's giving us a standard Gunpla model kit, and this is actually the instructions. So this is actually kind of cool, where it gives us all of our instructions on how it all gets put together, and it looks like it's heavily customizable, so that's going to be really nice. And it looks like that's how we can actually pair it up, where you just put your little figure down on the board just to represent the Gundam, which is a really nice take. And I can see where this is going to be kind of dealing like with Warhammer. And then we have our particular ones that we are going to be able to build, and it looks like all of our parts are right here. So this is looking really nice, and yeah, that's going to be really fun to actually build. And underneath here we have our game mat, and it tells us on how we are our layout for how the cards are going to be, as well as the rules on how everything is played, and tells us the different types of cards needed, the layout for our play, for prep, and what all of our cards actually do, and what our stages and various other rules to understand on how to attack, how to summon summon your mechs or deploy. So yeah, this is already looking fun, and I've already done a tournament for this, so that was actually fun for one of the launch tournaments. Now we are actually, since this channel focused more on plastic models, so this is where it's going to be really, really interesting to see what all this actually comes with. And let's take a look at the packaging here. First, looking at this, let me see if I can actually zoom in for you guys to be able to see a little bit more. And as we can see from just the first part with the core fighter, it is really nicely done. It's crisp, the molding and detail work is phenomenal. So I'm also trying to figure out roughly what scale this is, because again, this is not 1/44 scale, because 1/44 is already still pretty good size. So I will figure out what scale this is, but it is not tiny, so this will still be fairly easy to come in and paint all of the detail on here. But we have the core fighter right here, and it looks really nice and sharp. It won't take very much to actually come in and paint all of that detail. The blaster on here has nice crisp molding marks, and same with the boosters. The shield has very nice detail for the back and the bottom, or the front and the back. Overall, it's looking already really nice for these runners. And now we actually have parts for the mech itself. So we got some backpacks, the legs, which is all, some of these are all in solid pieces, which is going to be kind of fun, where you don't have to paint as much, or I should say glue as much, because it looks like they just kind of slide into place. So you might be able to get away with painting some of these like separately before attaching them together. But like I was saying, the molding is very, very crisp. I really like that. The detail on here is really nice. So that's the lovely thing with Bandai, is they always do a very phenomenal job. So I'm happy that they're translating the amount of detail. Actually is remarkable, actually. Even with the Gundam faces, you're probably going to need a magnifying glass for several of these, just because it's going to be really of a challenge. And I would probably recommend doing a primer on these, since this is going to be more of the traditional way of doing models. Now moving on to our last runner, and this is, again, a lot of the parts here are nice and crisp, good part separation. We got the chest unit, the iconic Gundam V, and we have various weapons. And yeah, this is going to look really nice when it's all put together. And it looks like we might be able to kind of assemble these in sections and be able to spray a primer and put these all together. So these are definitely going to be a fun build, so definitely look forward to the tutorial for or the build review for these, and it'll be more of a painting tutorial at this point, or painting review for these particular figures. And we also have lovely little circular stands for each of the figures for the Gundams and the core fighter. Now moving on to the cards themselves, and we have this nice little packaging here, so we can actually just kind of slip these right off before we get rid of that plastic. And we also have this nice little card here that gives us our little damage and various other little things that the card game will allow us to do. But overall, we are here to look at the cards themselves. So let me try to get a better angle for our camera so we all can see pretty good. Thinking about there. So now we can actually see all of our cards and our details. So we're just kind of going to be going through and just kind of seeing all of the cards that actually come here. So you can actually pause the video anytime to actually see all of the cards. This is my first time looking at this, so they give us a lot of really nice holographic cards, and we're going to be with a lot of duplicates because these play really hard with duplicates. So that's the lovely thing, from what I'm understanding, is there's not a set number of copies that you can have. So this is giving us a lot of really nice Gundam Strike cards, since this deck is primarily dealing with Gundam Seed. So we actually have some really nice enemy units here. And then we have pilots, because those were a lot of the units. Now we have pilot cards. So we have Kira. We have Arthur. Or I said his name wrong. We have more commander cards. These allow special abilities. And then we have Gundam bases, which we have White Base or Archangel. Enemy bases, and these are just resource cards. So these allow you to summon your Gundam. So you would need like level 3, so you would need 3 of these, and then you would technically, next we have our resources card. So to give an example is, we have a level 3 and a level 1 cost. So you would actually need 3 of these resources to be able to actually play this. But it will only cost you 1 resource, and that's basically putting it sideways in the gameplay, and then you would be able to play your card. So that's very interesting on how the mechanics work on summoning your mechs. And they give you about 10 of these, and they have extra stuff. And then we have token units, which allow us to have a little bit of bonus effects for some of our card effects that we have. But last but not least, we actually have a booster pack. So let's actually zoom out just a little bit, just so we can actually see. And so these are going to be a lot of our starter decks and the new booster pack. So this is, I have no idea what card this is going to be. So the thing is, it's going to be there are 16 different types for special promos that come in these. So I'm not sure what I'm all going to get, so this is going to be kind of a fun thing that I could probably do when I get a few more starter packs or booster packs, and just do kind of a unboxing. So let's see what we managed to get, and it is, oh, that is beautiful. So we actually got an Elias Strike Gundam. So that's going to be perfect to go with that. And it looks like it's a alternate art. So this is the original, and this is the alternate art. And we can see the difference very nicely. So that is a great pull for me out of this. So yeah, I am really happy with how well this actually turned out. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude this unboxing and review of the new Gundam card game and Gundam Assemble Combo Pack number 4. I am actually really impressed with how well this actually turned out, and I'm very pleased with how well the detail for the miniatures are. Again, I do like painting. I'm not a big fan of painting miniatures, but this is going to be a nice little challenge for me. But again, I do painting, but a lot of this is going to be a lot of more fine tip painting, detail, magnifying glass over here, kind of assemble job, hence the name Gundam Assemble. So there are painting required, so I would probably recommend for anyone that is wanting to build these, I would recommend getting, at least spraying them with a primer before start hand painting, just like any ordinary model kit. Again, this would have been really nice if it was white plastic, because that would make it a lot easier to paint various other pieces, especially 90% of Gundams are white, so that would have been a phenomenal color. But gray is not a bad one, especially if you're trying to get into shading. So I've already tried the card game. It actually looks really fun, very challenging, but it's very interesting. Especially you can bypass the cards on the field and go straight for your base. So yeah, it's a really interesting 360 style kind of game where you can attack directly or you can defeat the cards on the field. So there's multiple ways that and strategies that you can play that game. So I really am thinking about maybe starting up a thing where here at my local Hobbytown USA, where we do little card tournaments with these. So this is really fun. So I really recommend people try to find these, or even try to pick up the card game. And with that, I hope you guys like this type of content. If please like and subscribe, leave comments down below. You guys are what's making this channel grow, and I will see you guys in the next episode.